Yeah, a lot of people say thank God it's Friday for their own reasons. For me, I say that because it's always that time of the week where we get to talk about pop cultural and of course entertainment stories right here in Africa and even the rest of the world. Today we're going to start from the Nigerians who have decided to call out a hospital for the death of their own friend who died after a surgery. Crazy surgery, really. And then also the country, there is also something that is really, really crazy. This time around is a lawsuit that is running after a side chick. Crazy, isn't it? And then the H, where we definitely will get down to our O1 best story. So let's get the show rolling. Welcome to Pop Casa. Welcome to Popcaster today with me, JJ Raymond. But hey, I'm not alone. I've got a delectable lady, a radio host, Mimi Sweetie. How are you, darling?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Mimi Athletic right here with us. And of course, we've got a gentleman too, Trust Roy, man. You need no introduction right here. How are you doing?
I'm great, JJ.
I like your outfit, you know?
Well, you guys left me behind an
Oh, good.
What's the inspiration behind this thing?
Some Ghanaian.
It doesn't look like it.
But guess what? I'm sure you got the inspiration from Harvey, you know? When you have a beautiful lady next to you, what do you expect? Absolutely. Okay, let's get down to some stories right now. On Pop Casa today, a Nigerian woman, Niss Posha, has called out a plastic surgery center in Lagos following the death of her friend who allegedly died after a procedure to get a BBL, or Brazilian butt lift, BBL. Crazy. Well, in her post, she said that after her friend's surgery, she complained of bleeding and the doctors claimed it's normal and would stop. She claimed her friend was neglected, and after her death, the hospital did not even find it necessary to contact any of her relatives. Not until her friends, some of her friends who knew that she went for the surgery started asking questions. They decided to go to the hospital to check on her, and on arrival, they were given a letter that her body had been deposited at a mortuary. The hospital has not put out any official statement so far. Until now. Rather, they have decided to block comments on social media because her friends were demanding justice. When friends and family visited the hospital, there was a lot of palaver. Wahala ensued. Now, so many questions in my head, but let's start off with the hospital. But before then, take a look at this. Now you've seen that video, just a very short thing, but lots of things are on my mind right now, starting from the hospital or with the hospital. We don't have their sides yet, yes, we know that. But if they did deposit her body at the mortuary without informing her next of kin, doesn't that tell you that there is something shady about that hospital or the entire scenario? Mimi, we'll start with you.
First of all, a lot of people are not going to like me for this. But the honest truth is we have people who die at hospitals every day from just being sick and stuff. So I want to take that mentality off of the fact that she went to do like a lipo and that's the reason why she died, because a lot of people die on a daily basis at hospitals. But then again, giving my 2 cents on this, I feel I'd love to hear from the hospital first before judging. Someone basically came on social media to say stuff about this is what happened and everyone is running with that vision. I think they need to send like the right authorities to the hospital to get their own statement from them before anyone starts to like really judge. I don't work at the hospital. I don't even know who they are. But I'm just saying.
Towards the opinion.
Okay.
I haven't heard the side from the hospital, but from every indication, if you have nothing to hide, it would make sense that you would give a press statement.
Yes.
Already.
Maybe the pressure is just too much on them and they haven't really had the time to come out to say, because you need to be very careful right now.
How much time do you need?
How long has this been for? A few days.
A few days.
A few days.
But that's enough time for you to, put out a statement.
Because this is really serious. Someone died in the hospital. You didn't contact the next to the family actually came and said, we just saw our daughter come to off here, and at the end of
I think that's where they've made a mistake, not reaching out to the public. But who knows? Maybe they're trying to be careful not to say the wrong things.
Okay,
whatever
guys,
they say now is against
I'm going to
them.
interrupt you right now. I want to go on a very quick break and then we return to this. Stick around. Really, really crazy things going down, like Thames would say, crazy things are happening. Now, the second question on my mind is this. Taking a look at the lady, how beautiful she looked, before the surgery. Come on. You would really wonder why she would decide to do such. So what exactly is influencing this trending surgery, situation in the country?
I personally think that humans are never satisfied. So someone might have the perfect body and want something more. It's more like you're like this, and then you see a friend of yours who you think is looking way better than you, and you want to look like this person, and then you go ahead, and then there's also pressure from society, from friends. The thing is, a lot of women are not doing this for the guys. That's the funny part.
Are you sure?
I sort of think that they're doing it for
to oppress other females.
To oppress other females,
Wow,
like
this is a rather interesting take.
Wow.
If you ask me.
Yeah, making you feel like, oh, I'm actually as hot as you. I can do this.
But in this particular case, what I find really funny, because when I saw the picture of this girl that just passed, she had a banging body.
Oh,
she was, everything seemed really perfect. So I was asking myself,
Yeah.
why exactly?
You know what I think about this? When people say banging, when people say perfect, when people say hot, it's just
relative.
subjective. Come on. You look hot to me. You may not look hot to someone else.
yeah.
So why do you have to transform yourself to look like someone else?
They're doing it for themselves, really, not for anybody.
Come on.
Looking at the mirror and then liking what you see, that's all that really matters.
Insecurity matters, maybe. Well, reality star Alex Unusual weighed in on this conversation, and she said, if it's not due to the health condition and you wake up someday and then decide to, choose to do some surgery, then that means you're insecure. What do you think about that?
Exactly the same thing I said. A lot of people are doing this because they feel insecure and they just want to do something that make them feel good. It's about looking at yourself and loving yourself. I'm really not against people. I would never do it. I'm not, that way in that area. But I'd never do that. But I'm really not against anyone. Whatever works for you, really. Just be safe.
Is that the only way to deal with insecurity?
So the first thing, when you talk about insecurity, the first thing that comes to my mind is it insecurity? Is it something as physical or something as mental? Because let's say we speak different languages now. You might be insulting me in your language. I don't feel it. But when you now say it in English and I understand you and I decide to take it to heart, that's where the problem now comes in. So if you're feeling insecure, it means, okay, something's making you feel insecure. Somebody must have said something to you. You're feeling pressure from social media. So I feel it starts with you first. And then why are you insecure? You are slim, you are fat. I think for most people, they don't like the shape of their body, or maybe they feel like they're unhealthy.
It's more like a you problem.
It's a you problem. I mean, if you're on the plus size, why not go to the gym? Why not eat healthy? I think those are less hazardous ways of getting your security back.
Yeah. Do you also think that parents have a very key role in playing on our mind
I totally agree.
as children?
I totally agree. When I was growing up, there's something my mom used to tell me. She would say, if you go outside and someone tells you you're fine, tell them your mom has already told you first that you're fine. So that kind of contributed to my security or my self-worth. That doesn't mean I didn't have like phases where
We all
I was
did,
I was some sort of insecure about myself, but that foundation that was already laid made the problem easier to handle.
Self-esteem issues. Now, moving on, business coach Niger Branchik added some context to this conversation. She started her post with this, saying, all of you saying we do surgery because we are insecure and have not learned to love ourselves, our bodies. How would you love our body when we are body shamed every single time? Sometimes I don't even know how to do it. With so much people body shaming me, I have legit told my husband I want to go under the knife, and it's prayers he used to talk me out of it. Trust me, you all don't want to help. You all don't help. We have to look a certain way to be accepted. You mock us behind our backs, write hurtful stuff with your fake accounts, and when someone dies trying to end it all and end all the insults, what do we hear from you? Love your buddy. Nah. So she references body shaming and bullying as things that can push someone to go for plastic surgery. Have you ever had that little fight within yourself with insecurity, especially about your body, Mimi?
I have. I'm going to be very honest. I wouldn't even try to lie. I have. I mean, there was a certain time years back, I thought about it. I'm like, I'd actually look better if my boobs were like, bigger. I kept thinking about it. And then, I mean, at some point, I'm like, well, scrap that. Who really cares? I figured that it was like a me problem, and I really didn't want to give a hoot about what any other person was saying. Yeah. So I decided to just own who I am and take it for that. Still on that,
at what point did you realize? Did you just suddenly grow up? I mean, maturity, age played the part, or you
I told myself it wasn't a process of growing. No, it was something I just woke up one day and I'm like, no, because I remember I was always saving, posts of all this natural hair. Yeah. When you rub this one in the morning, you. I'm like, is this magic? I got tired of looking through all this pictures.
I've also had my fair share.
Yeah.
So I have this Asian type hair. You might not see it now, but that's how it looks. Yeah. And every time I cut my hair low, people keep telling me you look bald. So for the you're going to grow bald. So for the longest time, I was always saving afro. I don't like the idea of having low hair because once you look like this, you see it. In school also, I was a lot chubbier, and people used to talk about my legs a lot. So like, you get bow leg way straight. So but now I really don't care, and I love wearing shorts. Yeah. I think it comes with age and at the same time maturity. When you understand that some things don't really matter, then you begin to brace up and get ready to face all these things.
Now, talking about the hospital, this is not the first time the hospital has been implicated in a surgery gone wrong. Well, this is also not the first time a hospital in Nigeria has fallen under the spotlight when it comes to patient care or even patients dying. Plastic surgery is getting even really, really popular right here in Nigeria. What do you think? How do you think patients can, get themselves safer when it comes to surgery?
Can they really get themselves safer? They're not the ones performing the surgery. You basically have to just go to an expert. You have to spend a lot of money for that because if you try to cut corners and use a cheap whatever, stuff like that can happen. And let people know what you're going for. Exactly. Don't hide it because a lot of people are ashamed of doing it.
They want to do the whole
and they come
thing
and tell you it's natural.
It's natural. They went to the gym.
This is exactly why her family had no idea that she was in that kind of mess. So if everyone knows, this is what own your whatever you call it.
Nigerian branch said she has told her husband that she's actually going to do this stuff. So when you're confident about stuff like this, in fact, the insecurity even gets to the stage of admitting that I need this thing.
Okay, now in our next story, come on guys, can you imagine that a side chick is being sued? Okay, let me go straight to the story. Side chicks and side bros, listen up now, because this story is really going to touch you somewhere. It appears like American TV presenter and actress Nene Leakes may be facing a new lawsuit, and this time she is reportedly being sued by her boyfriend's estranged wife, Malumai Temesio. News has it that Temesio is accusing Leakes of hooking up with her estranged husband, Nyonisela, while he was still married to her. Now, the estranged wife of the Liberian-American fashion designer claims Leakes shared photos of her and CEO on social media, causing her to be humiliated and ruining her marriage. Temesio says she has suffered emotional distress, mental anguish, and a loss of affection, and now she's seeking more than $100,000. I mean, dollars, man, from the former reality star. So, wife is suing alleged side chick for causing her husband to leave her. So, apparently, in some states in the United States, an alienation of affection lawsuit can be filed by a deserted spouse against a third party that he or she believes is responsible for the marriage failure. Now, wow. So, first up, does this really make sense to you? I'm going to start with you, the lady, that, this lawsuit, an estranged wife suing the babe. Come on, if it happens to you in Nigeria.
It's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. Never happening to me. But honestly, I find it very funny.
Yeah.
Because, what business do you have with her, really? Your husband, who knows what he told her? I'm not saying this from experience. I'm just saying.
When I think about it, I feel like some laws don't make sense. Of course, the law is here to protect us, but some laws don't make sense. I mean, in the United States, there's a law that you can file a charge against a third party.
Yeah.
What happened to the husband?
That's
Maybe
exactly
they put
what
gun on his head and said, yo,
understand.
you got to cheat on your wife or something.
Is she doing that because of who is involved? Would she do it to a random person? That's another question.
That's another question.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, if she was just a regular side chick, would she do this? Or it's basically because it's then the leaks. I mean, someone who everyone knows. Come on. I mean, sometimes it may just be for the money.
Yeah.
What happened to holding the husband accountable?
Exactly. What role is he playing in this whole drama?
But do estranged wives actually hold the men accountable? When you have a third party, when you have a side chick who's trying to get your husband out, who do you blame? You blame the side chick or you blame the husband? In reality,
she's not trying to get your husband. Your husband is giving himself to her. There's only one way. They're both adults. Nobody's going to claim you if you don't make them understand that you're available to be claimed. So if he really has no right to do that.
And how do you know that they're really divorced? I mean, as a side chick, as a lady, how do you know a man is really divorced?
Because they lie. You lie.
No, not me.
Not you, anyways. Not you, but yeah, a lot of men lie, and they're so freaking good at it. You're just going to believe what they're saying.
Okay, now at some point, you definitely will cut your losses in a relationship, but at what point is that? Trust.
It's obvious already. I don't know why they haven't filed for divorce, or she has. I mean, the term is estranged wife. What does that exactly even mean? If your husband has been cheating on you and you can't stay, back and go. You cannot be doing estranged from far. Okay, let's just agree. Let's just imagine that they are divorced. What do you hope to gain from this lawsuit? What exactly do you hope to gain?
Money. Excuse me. That's a lot of money.
They're trying to do ambahija.
No, you didn't want to mention that. You didn't just say that.
That's a lot of money.
Well, guys, let's wrap the show up today and let's head on to the H. Twitter user G_Bemi got people talking with this tweet. And she said, I was really looking forward to attending my friend's wedding, but we moved. No ashrebi, no entry. I can't afford the ashrebi because I have other budgeted commitments. She said, I can't attend if I don't buy, says event planner in this, matter. So people are saying she would have at least planned ahead if she really wanted to be at that wedding. Me, if you were, the babe, how would you respond to people?
Well, it depends on the relationship I have with the bride. If it's someone who is really close to me, I would definitely plan ahead of time. But if it's just a random wedding, why would I spend that amount of money for you?
As much as I believe this story is called Sobo, I still also... So if I'm really close with somebody, over time I have discovered that I don't even enjoy being a guest at occasions like that or weddings like that because anything can go wrong. I think I'm more useful being behind the scene, helping to coordinate stuff. So, I mean, if the glitz and the glamour of the ashrebi is what is your concern, at least you guys could have had a conversation about, changing the roles of what the person is going to do.
Yeah.
Where else can you be useful for this whole arrangement? Would you be behind the scene helping them cook? Would you be helping me, organize who gets this or who gets what? So that's a concern they could have had instead of saying, okay, don't attend. And the friend was just claiming.
Like I said, this is this person telling her side of the story.
We haven't
it's always
one side.
one-sided.
So Mimi, how much can you spend on ashrebi? What's the maximum?
Tell us the truth. How much have
When
you
was the
spent?
last time I attended a wedding? The last time I actually paid for a ashrebi was maybe like 4 years ago.
And how much was that?
3 years ago. That was around, everything was about maybe 50 something,
50
60K.
something K. What about?
Don't ask me. I've never
60.
paid. None of my guys are married yet, so I've never paid.
Around 60, because getting the fabric and then making it
everything.
at the same time. And
All right, guys, man, it's been a...
And I hated the dress. Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, when you get married, maybe we can have this conversation.
The truth about it is that nobody's going to put on any ashrebi at my wedding.
That's nice.
Simple, man. Come the way you like. I mean, it's even going to be on Zoom, so come on, bro. Anyway, thank you, Mimi. Thanks for coming around today.
My pleasure.
And thank you, Trust.
Thank you, sir.
And to you who's watching, man, how much have you spent on ashrebi? Like, how much can you spend? How much do you plan to spend from your salary or not from your salary? Anyway, thanks for watching. Have yourself a beautiful weekend.